The Book of Tobit, Chapter 1. The Book of the Words of Tobit, son of Tobiel, son of Ananiel, the son of Aduel, son of Gabael, seed of Azael, of the tribe of Naphtali, who in the time of Shalmaneser, king of the Assyrians, was led captive out of Thisbe, which is at the right hand of that city, which is called properly Naphtali in Galilee above Asher. I, Tobit, have walked all the days of my life in the way of truth and justice, and I did many alms deeds for my brethren and my nation, who came with me to Nineveh into the land of the Assyrians. And when I was in mine own country, in the land of Israel, being but young, all the tribe of Naphtali my father fell away from the house of Jerusalem, which was chosen out of all the tribes of Israel, that all the tribes should sacrifice there, where the temple of the inhabitation of the Most High was consecrated and built for all ages. Now all the tribes which together revolted, and the house of my father Naphtali sacrificed unto the heifer Baal, but I alone went often to Jerusalem for the feast, as was ordained unto all the people of Israel by an everlasting decree, having the first fruits and tenths of increase, with that which was first shorn, and I have them at the altar to the priests, the children of Aaron. The first tenth part of all increase I gave to the sons of Aaron, who ministered at Jerusalem. Another tenth part I sold away, and went and spent it every year at Jerusalem. And the third I gave unto them to whom it was meet, as Deborah my father's mother had commanded me, because I was left an orphan by my father. Furthermore, when I had come to the age of a man, I married Anna of mine own kindred, and by her I begot Tobias. And when we were carried away captive to Nineveh, all my brethren and those who were of my kindred ate the bread of the Gentiles. But I kept myself from eating, because I remembered God with all my heart, and the Most High gave me grace and favor before Shalmaneser, so that I was his purveyor. And I went into Media, and left in trust with Gabael, the brother of Gabrias, at Rages, a city in Media, 10 talents of silver. Now, when Shalmaneser was dead, Sennacherib his son reigned in his stead, whose estate was troubled, so that I could not go into Media. And in the time of Shalmaneser, I gave many alms to my brethren, and gave my bread to the hungry, and my clothes to the naked. And if I saw any of my nation dead or cast about the walls of Nineveh, I buried him. And if Sennacherib the king had slain any who came and fled from Judea, I buried them privily, for in his wrath he killed many. But the bodies were not found when they were sought for by the king. And when one of the Ninevites went and complained of me to the king, that I buried them and hid myself, understanding that I was sought for to be put to death, I withdrew myself for fear. Then all my goods were forcibly taken away, neither was there anything left me beside my wife Anna and my son Tobias. And there passed not 55 days before 2 of his sons killed him, and they fled into the mountains of Ararat, and Esarhaddon his son reigned in his stead, who appointed over his father's accounts and over all his affairs. Achiacharas, my brother Aniel's son, and Achiacharas entreated for me, and I returned to Nineveh. Now Achiacarius was cupbearer and keeper of the signet and steward and overseer of the accounts, and Esarhaddon appointed him next unto him, and he was my brother's son. Chapter 2. Now when I had come home again, and my wife Anna was restored unto me with my son Tobias, at the feast of Pentecost, which was the holy feast of the 7 weeks, there was a good dinner prepared for me, and I sat down to eat. And when I saw the abundance of meat, I said to my son, Go, bring whatever poor man thou shalt find among our brethren, who is mindful of the Lord, and lo, I would tarry for thee. But he came back and said, Father, one of our nation is strangled, and is cast out of the marketplace. Then before I had tasted any good meat, I started up, and took him into the room until the going down of the sun. Then I returned and washed myself, and ate my meat in heaviness, remembering that prophecy of Amos, as he said, Your feast shall be turned into mourning, your mirth into lamentation. Therefore I wept. And after the going down of the sun, I went and made a grave and buried him. But my neighbors mocked me and said, This man is not yet afraid to be put to death for this matter. He fled away, and yet, lo, he burieth the dead again. The same night I also returned from the burial, and slept by the wall of my courtyard, being polluted, and my face was uncovered. And I knew not that there were sparrows on the wall, and mine eyes being opened, the sparrows voided warm dung into mine eyes, and the whiteness came in mine eyes, and I went to the physicians, and they helped me not. Moreover, Achiacharus nourished me until I went to Elamaeus. And my wife Anna took in women's work to do, and when she sent them home to the owners, they paid her wages, and gave her also besides a kid. And when it was in my house and began to cry, I said to her, From whence is this kid? Is it not stolen? Render it to the owners, for it is not lawful to eat anything that is stolen. But she replied to me, It was given as a gift, more than the wages. However, I did not believe her, and bade her to render it to the owners, and I abased at her. And she replied unto me, Where is thine alms and thy righteous deeds? Behold, thou and all thy works are known. Chapter 3. Then I, being grieved, did weep, and my sorrow prayed, saying, O Lord, thou art just, and all thy works are in thy ways. And all thy works and all thy ways are mercy and truth. Thou judgest truly and justly forever. Remember me, and look on me. Punish me not for my sins and ignorances, and the sins of my fathers who have sinned before me. For they obeyed not thy commandments. Therefore thou hast delivered us for a spoil, and unto captivity, and unto death, and for proverbs of reproach to all the nations, among whom we are dispersed. And now thy judgments are many and true. Deal with me according to my sins and my fathers, because we have not kept thy commandments, neither have walked in truth before thee. Now therefore deal with me as seemeth best unto thee, and command my spirit to be taken from me, that I may be dissolved and become earth. For it is profitable for me to die rather than live, because I have heard false reproaches, and have much sorrow. Command therefore that I may now be delivered out of this distress, and go unto everlasting place. Turn not thy face away from me. It came to pass the same day that in Ecbatana, a city in Media, Sarah, the daughter of Raguel, was also reproached by her father's maids, because she had been married to 7 husbands, whom Asmodeus the evil spirit had killed before they had lain with her. Dost thou not know, said they, that thou hast strangled thine husbands? Thou hast had already 7 husbands, neither wast thou named after any of them. Why dost thou beat us for them? If they be dead, go thy ways after them. Let us never see from thee either son or daughter. When she heard these things, she was very sorrowful, so that she thought to have strangled herself. And she said, I am only a daughter, the only daughter of my father, and if I do this, it shall be a reproach unto him, and I shall bring his old age with sorrow unto the grave. Then she prayed toward the window, and said, Blessed art thou, O Lord my God, and thine holy and glorious name is blessed and honorable forever. Let all thy works praise thee forever. And now, O Lord, I set mine eyes and my face toward thee, and say, Take me out of the earth, that I may hear no more the reproach. Thou knowest, Lord, that I am pure from all sin with man, and that I never polluted my name, nor the name of my father in the land of my captivity. I am the only daughter of my father, neither hath he any child to be his heir, neither any near kinsman, nor any son of his alive, to whom I may keep myself for a wife. My 7 husbands are already dead, and why should I live? But if it please not thee that I should die, command some regard to be had of me, and pity taken on me, that I hear no more reproach. So the prayers of them both were heard by the majesty of the great God, and Raphael was sent to heal them both, that is, to scale away the whiteness of Tobit's eyes, and to give Sarah the daughter of Raguel for a wife to Tobias the son of Tobit, and to bind Asmodeus the evil spirit, because she belonged to Tobias by right of inheritance. The self-same time came Tobit home, and entered into his house, and Sarah, daughter of Raguel, came down from her upper chamber.